airplanes, everything inspected, straight. It's like the scenes on Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I host English News every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family, designated the brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the #1 craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name Wolfers stands for as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the show. Today with me is my dear friend, my dear beloved brother, by the same mother.
Yes, sir. Proud of it.
All right. Ken Hemming, a political commentator, a CPA for life, and an author. His book, 100 Words to Live By, that makes life simple, is my Bible, remains my Bible. I still suck a lot from it. And I have to use the word suck because it's really chewable and suckable.
It's chewable. Once it's in your soul,
Yes.
Jack, your life is more free and fulfilling.
Yes, most importantly, Mr. Ken Hemming has been with me for so many times. And about 2 months ago, he just finished his 250th show.
Yes, sir. This is 258 today.
258.
I'm so honored.
Oh my God!
I'm so honored.
Right, and also by past November, this show has hit the mark of 1,370
And Jack,
shows altogether.
you've been the host for all those shows. You have a wonderful following of people, viewers
you.
in that, and you really educate your viewers so nicely with such a pure soul in a philosophy of life that enhances their daily activity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. By doing so, I myself get educated on every single
That's
day
true.
basis. Because I see those wonderful people around me all year round on a day-to-day basis.
That's true.
When I can't prevent learning from them, even if I didn't want to,
Right.
I will be educated, and I'm getting educated. And it's a mutual thankful situation here.
It is.
I owe them a big one, big time. All right, now, there is no major issue on the global earth that we at the East-West Show do not extend our huge attention,
Yes, sir.
right? And sometimes with love, with a hug, with a big heart, and even with the tears. And with Wuhan, what's happening in Wuhan, in China, in Hubei province, and everybody, I believe, his heart is saddened with what we see, what we hear every day. So we want to address that issue first because it is on top of everything. It is on top of everybody's head. It is saddening everybody's heart, right?
It certainly is.
And hopefully you have some good news or better news for us today?
Well, I'll start with some reality news, and that is that this activity with the coronavirus has resulted in over 1,000 people passing away in the last, 3 or 4 months, whatever, which is more than the SARS that happened in the year 2002 approximately. But like, my attitude is that every man and woman on planet Earth are my brothers and sisters. We are one family. We're all humans. We're just the human race. So any other designation, I just don't focus on. And so when people suffer in China with the challenges of a particular virus, it hurts my heart, and it hurts the heart of fellow Americans.
Yes,
and we send our
everybody.
support. Also, America has been impacted by it. We have had some people that have gotten the virus. Now, but the good news is the number of new cases that are being discovered is decreasing. and particularly in America.
Decreasing.
Decreasing.
It's ebbing down.
It's ebbing down. And there's a pathologist researcher at the University of Hong Kong named John Nichols, who apparently, I haven't vetted him, but apparently is a world-class expert on viruses and things that can cause problems in human communication between each other through the air. Anyway, he's predicting that it will be over in approximately 5 months. His records on predictions and that have been
5
very
months
good.
altogether, starting point, or
Starting now, from now.
Oh, from now.
Yeah, from now.
I see.
But then the rate of new cases will be diminishing. So there's great hope for people in the Wuhan area and all around planet Earth, because it impacted several countries. So it's good news. We just have to buckle up, stay isolated, which they're doing. You know, the cultural and the commercial impact in that area in China is huge. I mean, it's really had a negative impact on people being able to sell their services and sell their products. But the only way of dealing with this successfully is isolation. And so the government of China is working on that, and the people are cooperating. That's the good part. People can, and also when you have fear.
They are very cooperative.
It's
I
easy,
would
yeah.
say the Chinese
Very
people
nice.
are the most cooperative people on the
Yeah.
global earth.
And one of the reasons is fear. I will cooperate if I have fearfulness that I could be.
Of course.
So it's good. It's so the news is positive. They're coming up with some blood tests that they think will have some validity in about a 3-week period.
And we
all
also-
the best brains
Yeah.
in science are working on this project.
Yeah. And me and my team also noticed that the United States government is doing a lot too.
Doing our very
Take
best.
Donald Trump, our president, for example. He repeatedly expressed his wish to send a team or teams
over to help
with China, over to help
in the research.
And then among every people in the community, and I've heard there's about $340 some $1 million being collected of donation to be sent to China, or maybe even more.
Yeah, I don't know the number exactly, but it's the heart of America that is willing to support the research and support the isolation, economic impact of isolation, because we care about lives and we care about people.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that. Okay.
And it's bad to Chinese economy too.
Oh, it's a negative
people
impact.
are quarantined at home or in the hospital or wherever, quarantine center. Nobody goes to work.
And also a lot of impact like on American corporations like Apple or something that have a lot of manufacturing in China. I mean, they're closed down, it comes to a halt. So that's a big negative impact.
Apple has announced their drop of over 10% for the past 2 months.
There's a lot of commerce in China.
That's a loss of customers.
And it's not the only
China.
company. There's a lot.
And then a lots of production line that they build in China are stopped now. Or stopping or has been stopped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it will take a while for them to come back online.
Yeah, and then just thinking out loud economically, okay, this has sort of a kind of a softening or negative impact on perhaps the people's view of investing in the stock market, whatever. But I'm happy to say our stock market in America, the Dow, S&P, and that are at record highs today because there's optimism that the virus circumstance will be overcome. That also, when they make up for the production that hasn't happened now, that will kickstart even more. And for example, our Dow's now at 29,500. It was 18,000 when President Trump was elected. We're right on the verge of 30,000.
Yeah, I believe that our government is right. Our government is right by doing what they do because it is not a Chinese problem.
It's a world problem.
It's a world problem.
Absolutely.
It's a human race problem.
Right.
Right? So when one thing goes wrong, especially nowadays in the global village, when one thing goes wrong one day, you'll see the butterfly effect probably as early as in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right? something like that. Now, with the production line stopped, though, supplies to the United States market
It's
being slowed down.
diminished, slowed down. Yeah.
Being slowed down.
Right.
And then with that, the consumer market slows down. With the consumer market, it goes on and on and on and on, and it stretches to the worldwide, let alone the fact that people die, they die unconditionally.
You only
Right?
die once.
When people get
That's right.
affected, it will not just the virus just pick up the Chinese people to infect.
Oh, not at all.
No,
Yeah, it's the world.
They
Yeah.
infect everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Everybody.
In the good,
So-
like when this came up a couple months ago, whenever it started, okay, the hope and belief that our science and our research will be able to deal with this on a reasonably timely basis. It's not going to go on 5 years and we're going to have 300,000 dead or something. So the optimism has allowed a continuation of growth in our business community. And that's really good. It could turn around. Something weird could happen, but I don't think it will. And it's very positive.
We live
now.
to learn.
So
We
we're
live-
here.
We live to learn.
And every day I watch the progress, in the decreasing number of cases.
You're right, you're right.
And it's a way lower fatality percentage than with SARS, which was back in 2002. So it's not quite as fatal, but if you're one that dies, it's fatal. Okay,
yeah.
and
All
so
right.
we feel the loss.
Okay, my friend, my lovely audience, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's pray for China. Let's pray for human race. Let's pray for our future.
Yeah.
Well, I recall many, many years ago when the first pandemic of AIDS hit the land, people got so worried. And then, well, later on, when they get used to, they kind of taking it easy.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Not that much of a worry. So this thing will go away same way.
No panic yet. No
panic. No panic.
That's the
necessary.
best. That's the best news.
All right, my dear friend, let's take a short moment out. We come back and we'll talk about our politics.
Le bijou icône de Philippe Wolfers qui date de 1902. Il faut la regarder contre la lumière pour avoir toutes les couleurs de ce bijou qui est extraordinaire. Avec les opales, c'est un thème très à la mode, à la période Art Nouveau. On voit en argenterie, mais aussi en peinture. Et ça a à voir aussi quelque chose un peu symbolique. Une libellule, c'est très belle quand on la voit de loin, mais quand on l'approche, c'est comme un dragon en anglais. On dit un dragonfly.
C'est une des grandes figures de l'Art Nouveau. Et cette pièce, mieux que n'importe quelle autre, témoigne de sa virtuosité. L'opulence, le raffinement, les courbes et les couleurs, et puis le thème aussi, qui raconte une époque. Libellule a été réinterprétée, plus légère, mais c'est bien à son aïeul qu'elle fait référence, une pièce désormais accessible à tous, puisqu'elle est passée de la boutique au musée.
Everything is expected to change. It's like seeing Broadway.
My name is Paul James. I host the news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friend, my lovely audience, dear brothers, sisters, and my dear fellow American citizens. Welcome back to the show, to the East West, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the number one craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory.
Very impressive, isn't it? Wolfers is just
Sure, yeah.
so special.
I wish I had one.
Me too. Wish I could afford it. It's great.
All right. And with me today on the bi-weekly update is my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, and an individual that I rely upon a lot, and an individual who loves the community, the show, EDI, a lot. together, with whom together I have achieved a lot. So
Yes, you have, and your network has.
yes, with you, not without you. With you,
I do my
achieved
best.
a lot. So welcome back to the show, right?
I'm happy to be here.
Last Tuesday night, right after I heard about the State of the Union address made by our President Donald Trump,
Yes, sir.
I called you
Yes, you
and did a little discussion with you. And so did we the next morning. And since then, we've been waiting for this day to sit here to,
Yes.
to digest it.
Yes.
There are lots of information, lots of issues, lots of signals there.
Yes.
Right? Elements to be chewed upon,
Right.
to be digested,
Yes, sir.
and at least to be discussed.
And to be
Right?
discussed.
So, and today is the moment that you and I would like to share our thoughts.
Yes.
How we want to consume that statement
Yes.
with all our audiences. How about that?
Yes. Now, in America, we sort of have a tradition that once a year, the President of the United States gives a State of the Union address. And it's basically to share with all of our people in America and the world how our country is performing. Are we moving forward? Are we moving backwards? Are we sideways or whatever? And President Trump has given 3 of them now since he was elected. Each one, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, has been even more powerful than the previous one. His first one was good, his second one was wonderful, and this last one was, they call it Reagan-esque. President Ronald Reagan was a great orator, and I will say that President Donald Trump is performing at that same level and maybe even with a little more power. And what he did, in a couple of ways of explaining it, number one, he highlighted the progress of America under his administration. We've strengthened our military. Our economy has been booming. Okay, we have an all-time low unemployment record. See, when people are working, Jack, and their hands are busy, they stay out of trouble, and they're happy. And we have millions less Americans now on food stamps. If you're making money, getting your regular paycheck, and can buy pay your rent and buy your food, you don't need government help. Nobody wants. I don't want government helping me on anything. I look to me to be to take care of myself, and so he highlighted all of these. The strength of the optimism in America, the strength of the economy, and the belief in the future. Now, what's also happened concurrently with that, the radical left Democrats, socialists that are in the other party, whatever name it is, just sit there and don't even clap for anything about the good things. For example, there's a lot of Congresswomen in our Congress, and President Trump said out of our 7 million new jobs since he was elected, 72% of the jobs have gone to women. They don't even clap for that. Who would not want to clap for that, okay? It's great. And so all of these accomplishments, they just sort of sit there with hatred, and it's blind to the reality of the progress of America and the respect America has. These trade agreements with China, Japan, South Korea, Canada, Mexico, they're tremendous, and they help all the countries too. And there's going to be a great one with England soon because of Brexit, and they're out of the Union. Then the other thing is, behind President Trump, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, did all of the movements and shuffling papers and that to distract the viewers away from President Trump's message. And at the end, she ingloriously ripped up her copy of the speech, which really is an asset of America. And I don't think there's ever been an act of disrespect that great in our Capitol. But anyway, we're moving on from that. And so the State of the Union, we have, this is an election year in America. November 3rd, there'll be a new election about 260 some days from now. The Democrats have a group of people that are competing to get the nomination of the party, and they're either socialists or something a little bit in the middle. And our Constitution is a supporter and conceived by capitalism. So it's going, I mean, I believe our president is going to win in a huge way, but nobody ever knows what happens, okay? So it's a very interesting year. The quality and depth, the articulation by our president of that speech was a work of art. And it's a shame it was just ignored by those that don't support. They're not just not supporting President Trump, they're not supporting America. And they're hoping for a recession. They're hoping for bad things to happen in America, but it's not going to.
All right. Of course, the public has the right comment, right judgment about how that statement was delivered.
Thanks for saying
and
that.
And how well that whole thing was being orchestrated.
Yes.
The whole thing,
Yeah.
no problem.
Right.
People, what
good.
people are talking more are the moments.
Okay. Yes.
Are the moments.
Yeah.
Right. So moments are number one that I noticed. There are still too much of a clear line of partisanship.
It's a shame. It's one country.
Did you notice that? You don't know
Totally.
that? Totally,
Yeah, it's
right?
incredible.
By, say, clapping hands,
Yeah.
applauses.
Yeah.
You see not a full house, you see a half house.
Well, and what's happened is the radical leftists in the Democratic Party are calling all Trump supporters morons, uneducated. They just demean us totally. The more bad things they say about me, the happier I am because I'm not impacted by it. But we really haven't had such nasty use of words. We've had people, say things, but this is unprecedented in the history of civility in American politics.
I agree with you.
Unprecedented.
If we ship that environment, that surrounding, that room, that get together
Yes.
to another day or another hour or another subject,
Yeah.
there could be disagreement, there could be argument,
Absolutely.
there could be whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that one, the statement of the address of the union,
Yeah.
right? That was a moment of celebration,
Yes.
of celebrating our
It
Constitution,
should be unified.
celebrating our nation as one. It is celebrating our unity,
That's right.
not the divisionism.
Yeah, and the radical left, which includes the socialists, really want to destroy the
And,
Constitution and change
My-
America.
I told you 1 million times already. I'm telling you this 1 million the first time.
Thank you, sir.
That I have never been a supporter of Donald Trump. However, let's be fair. The fair say is that was the moment of celebration.
Right.
That was the moment of the whole nation. Well, and by Constitution, the name Donald Trump is your president.
Right.
Who is now addressing this whole state with a state union address.
Right.
About what we have done.
Listen to
what
it.
we haven't done. What we did right. What. Just to listen to it.
Yeah.
Just to give him some applause as well.
Well, it's
you
applause
see-
for us because the citizens of America are living a better life than we've had before. We've got the low unemployment, the wage
All right.
rates are going
That
up
is
for
my
lower
part,
income people.
my criticism.
Right, but what you say though, you've never been a supporter, but you haven't been a hater.
No.
You're not a hater.
No.
And my prediction is you're going to tell me no, but you'll vote for President
I will
Trump.
support him later on, but right now I think he's doing the right thing.
He's doing the right thing for,
He's doing the
for
right
the
thing.
people of
and
America.
as a result of him doing the right thing, the Dows got the record high you
Unbelievable.
just mentioned.
Yes.
29.5.
29.5 today.
29.5 today.
Phenomenal.
Never been that high.
Never been there, no.
Remember, there were a few hundreds. There were days where there were only a few hundreds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I remember 6,600, and that was back in like 2009, 2008. It was, went from 14,000 down to 6,600, and then it's been climbing now, and in the last 3 years, it's like
And
a
the
rocket ship.
unemployment rate, do you recall those days when it was 8.2?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I
Right?
do. And see, people have to be working to be happy.
But now, when the president is talking about that part though,
Yeah.
why can't we come together and say, hey, give him a hail, something, hey, you did a good job, something like that.
But the reason is-
or at least be polite.
It's blind
Be
hate.
educated.
They're not polite.
Be civil.
Right. They're not
All right.
civilized.
All right, let's take a moment out. When we come back, I will continue to express myself. Of course, you cannot disagree, right?
Well, we agree, disagree,
can
whatever.
argue. All right,
It's
good.
philosophy.
We'll be right back.
Everything
continue to work on
like
it now.
scenes on Wayne.
It's called James. I host English news every morning.
And a golden angel, a wolf ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, my dear fellow citizens of the United States, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the East West, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry. Like Ken says that he wishes that he will have one. Me too.
We do.
And that is hand-forged by 10 generations of the master craftsman by the ding ding dong dong ding
Yeah.
dong 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 thing.
Craftsman. Yeah, talent.
Yeah, sure. Together, the name of Wolford stand as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. And we, as the EDI, with this show, feel proud to have such a big supporter.
You and Wolfers are blessed with a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, such a big sponsorship. That means a lot to me, to everybody.
It means everything.
Okay, thank you.
It's great.
All right, back to the discussion. Today we're doing our bi-weekly update, and we're talking about the State of the Union address. As for the content of the State Union
Yes, sir.
address, it's been published everywhere.
Yes,
right?
it is.
You can find
You can print it out.
sentence by sentence, word by word, comma by comma, period by period.
Yes.
We are not discussing about that.
And he delivered it beautifully.
Yeah, sure. We're talking about the moments,
Yes.
all right? The first moment, I give my criticism to the members of the House of Senate, of whoever,
Right.
who did not respond correctly or at least politely.
Their discourtesy was a shame for the world to see the hatred
However,
that
there's
exists
a
in
part
America.
about Donald Trump himself. How do you comment the part that he did not shake the hands with Nancy Pelosi?
Well, you know, I'm not going to make a big deal out of nothing. He did not shake the hand of Vice President Pence either. He gave Vice President Pence a copy. He gave Nancy a copy. He said he didn't even see her reach out because you watch him, he's just giving this out and turns around. So they want to make, you know, the media in America, the radical left media that hates our freedom and hates our success, they try to make a big deal out of it. Nothing can be more shameful in American history than Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech. So there's
I'll
no
talk about that part later.
But,
right?
but during the speech, if you watch carefully, where they've showed it, she takes the speech down below the camera level and already pre-rips some of it so it will tear apart easily. She had it all planned that she was going to disgrace America. She disgraced herself. She disgraced
Can
America.
we talk about that later?
Sure, of course.
Right.
You're the man.
Let's talk about the part why Donald Trump did not shake her hands.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant
Okay,
to anything
to you
in
it doesn't
America.
matter.
It doesn't
to
matter.
me, may I ask from another angle?
Sure.
Right? The impeachment was just over the day before.
Which was a...
No.
yes,
Okay,
right. It was a
I'm
hoax.
talking about the momentum.
Right.
The momentum was
all
that
with Trump.
with the speech of, with the impeachment movement was
Right.
just over,
Snuffed.
and he was announced the winner.
Right.
Right? The impeachers were announced a failure,
Yeah.
a loser already. And why wouldn't he take one step up, elevate himself one step up, and go and turn back to shaking her hands,
Jack, you have no proof.
to indicate to her that I won.
She doesn't deserve.
Madam Speaker, can you stop?
She doesn't deserve any respect. She's incredible. No, wait,
Okay,
she's
you may
incredible.
express-
And Trump says he didn't see her reach
You may
out.
express-
If you watch his hands,
You
in where
may
the things,
express your
the
take.
truth.
If I were Donald Trump, I will do it in a special way. I would do it purposely. For example, I will turn over and say, Madam Speaker, or here's my hand.
Number one, we don't know he did that on purpose. There's no proof of that. That's just the radical left talking points of hatred. Number two, she doesn't deserve any respect. The way she has treated him, and they have with the lies, the Russian hoax, all of these false things with Schiff and Schumer and Pelosi have been criminals in America.
The word deserving really indicates a tit for tat situation.
Okay.
I give this to you because you deserve it.
He didn't?
I don't give it to you because you don't deserve it. And now we're talking about on the elevation, on the level, on the stage of talking about a tit for tat.
He didn't shake
A tit for
Vice
tat.
President
How
Pence's
about
hand, Jack.
how about I give you my hand even if I know you do not deserve my hand? How about that?
He didn't shake Vice President's hand. There was no reason to shake her hand.
No. Why President was not one of the impeachers?
He said he
right?
didn't.
And I'm talking
what?
about, as a politician, why didn't he use that moment to stretch a hand to her? Well,
She deserves
to
no
indicate
attention.
something.
She deserves no
My
respect.
dear friend, my dear brother,
Yes, boss.
stop talking about deservation. We're talking about
Why?
deserving. You're talking about tit for tat. I'm talking about on a platform. Why don't you show the public a little manner?
You know, President Trump
That part-
has total manners.
That is the
and
part
he has.
that I disagree.
Well, okay, that's your problem, not mine. Okay, so we will eternally disagree on that.
Well, we
now,
can-
One of the great things about the speech is President Trump had some special visitors
Let
there.
me finish on this part, all right?
Okay.
On that part that I would say that he did not seize the moment, the right moment, to better himself.
He can't be better.
Right.
He handled that
He can be
State of
better.
the
He can be
Union
better.
flawlessly.
He can be better.
It would not be better to shake her hand, and he says he didn't even see it.
Okay.
So I'm not going to. Yeah, we disagree forever.
You stick to yours, and I do mine.
And I'll pray for
How
you.
about that?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, very good. And now let's move on to the part of the ripping the transcript, right? And that was a moment when I was having dinner with both my sons.
Good. Yeah,
Okay?
good. I'm
And I
jealous of that.
was
Great.
just exactly talking to my sons
Yeah.
of American politics. I said a day ago she was the one, well, along with the impeachment.
Right.
Now she stands right there, clapping her hands. You know what? This is American politics, right? I was teaching
It's
them.
not politics. It's hate.
I was
There's
teaching
a
them.
difference.
I was teaching them.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
that
Right.
very
right,
moment, my
right.
son says, "Dad, you see that?" And she was ripping off the script.
Nothing ever more disrespectful has happened.
And that is
the
very
Capitol.
much to me a slam on my face. I feel ashamed for what she has done.
She spit on all America. She did.
Yeah, I feel that a slam on the face to myself. I mean, especially that moment was the moment I was praising her.
Why?
I was showing my son this is American politician, right? So now
I wouldn't praise her, but yeah.
Well, anyway, can you
No,
be a
she
little
is-
nicer, please?
Well, I can,
Yeah,
Jack,
so-
but what they
okay,
did
I am
was
expressing
heinous.
myself.
Yeah, okay.
Can you express yourself when I ask?
Okay.
Yeah, you don't cut me off, stopping me expressing
Okay,
myself.
that's fine.
To express yourself, right?
Okay.
And I say that especially when it happened at the moment when I was flaunting American system, American politics to my son, that happens, which I feel as a slam on my face.
It was. And our American system has fallen apart into utter disrespect because when you have the FBI, the Department of Justice, all performing criminal collusion to try to destroy President Trump as president, our system has failed us. Our oversight has failed us. and the soul of people working for the government are happy to perform collusion and criminal activities to destroy our president. We have failed. And now we just have to pray that the radical Democrats
Thank
can
God.
come back to
Thank
some
God
normality.
thank God we have a House of Senate that is
Separation.
not totally controlled by Democrats.
That's right.
And,
You're
who
so
finally
right.
gave the votes,
Right.
gave the judgment to fairness, right? And I was
Just to legality.
even though for many times this has been discussed, there's no suspicion about he will be acquitted.
Oh, he was going to
At
be.
that very moment,
They didn't have
that very moment, I was eating at Caesar's.
Yes, sir.
Caesar's with a friend of mine.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I went out, stay in the car to listen to the moment
Great. Thank
of
you.
yes or no.
Thank you.
Guilty or not guilty.
Right,
Guilty
right.
or not guilty.
Right.
Guilty or not. I keep counting. Guilty.
Yeah,
guilty.
right. Me
not
too.
Guilty. Guilty. Not guilty.
I watched it.
Okay, until I lost track.
Yeah, I
Right.
watched it.
Everybody, I would say, at that very moment gave so much attention to that voting, even though there's no suspicion about.
Well, there was no crime even in the articles of impeachment. There's
that
no crime.
indicates how important that is.
That's right.
With that thing, I believe that we have finally showed our ability of checking and balancing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We
That's
balance.
why it's
Now that
conceived
my
that
point
way.
is that when that voting has been cast already, when the number of the votes have been counted already, just declare a loser. Just declare the winner. That's it.
Well, of course, now the radical left's Jack, right now they're saying, oh, he wasn't acquitted. We didn't have all the witnesses and everything that they could have had. Oh, he was acquitted, but he is acquitted. And he's acquitted forever, and they need to shut up and try to work with them and improve the infrastructure.
I mean, by
in
law,
the
by
healthcare.
law, by the procedure of laws,
Right.
he had been
Acquitted.
Totally. All right. Okay, my dear friends, let's take a moment out. We're not done yet on this one. We will come back to continue. Stay with us, please.
Everything.
We have to continue to work on it now. Our name is Paul James. I host English news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience, and welcome back to the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the number one craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the show, the discussion with my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hammy, who I argue a lot. Every time when he argued with me, I was so upset. However, well, when you think of second time, I said, well, I thank God I have somebody always ready to argue with me.
We can disagree and we admire each other 100%.
Very good. I admire you for the the ability of seeing things in a totally different views.
Yeah.
Right. And I
do.
also cherish the fact that some of the time, which is getting more and more, the moments you agree with me.
And everybody, your viewers and yourself and everything, I just beg you all, once a month, it's not long, read the Constitution. The Constitution is the foundation of this brilliantly designed country where the government reports to the people, or are supposed to. A lot of our government officials do not remember that. And in many other countries where the government is central planning and controls the people, if you disagree, they'll kill you or whatever.
Sure.
It's a beautiful concept for America.
Thank you. The next thing I would like to share with you
Yes, sir.
in this bi-weekly update was that what I did after the State of Union address.
Yes, sir. I appreciate.
Right after the State of Union address, that very evening, I interviewed through the phone
Yes.
with 4 people,
Nice.
4 elected officials.
Nice.
And of course, as elected officials, I purposely chose 2 and 2.
Good. Like it.
Republicans and
Yeah.
Democrats, right?
Good.
So of course, as a result, you see 180 degrees of
Yeah, right.
differentiation.
Right, right.
Of differentiation.
Right.
I called it whatever was confirmed at the right to the left-hand side
Yeah.
was denied at the right-hand side.
Right.
Right. That did not surprise me at all, because I knew what I was going to add. I was going to get. What did surprise me a lot was my second interview that conducted the next day
Yes, sir.
of altogether 4 average individuals.
Good.
The average Joes, average Sues, average Kevin.
I love that.
Average Tom, average Linda, so whatsoever.
That's what America is. Average people.
By picking up no partisan at all.
Yes, sir.
And I blindly pick up those
Yeah.
who I never thought about partisanship.
Yeah. Random selection.
Random selection. All right. What does surprise me still
Yeah.
is that with that 4 interviews,
Yes.
they showed the unanimous concern, universal concern of the division.
Good. God bless them.
They call it dangerous division,
Very dangerous.
right?
Could
they
be
say
lethal.
they say it is dangerous to keep on being divided like
Fighting
that.
and hating. Yes.
Right the next day, it was a show with my friend Chris Shahinen.
I like them.
With him, I shared about my concern of why and how come we're that much divided. Now I'm asking you a favor. Without giving Republicans too much credit,
Yeah. Either way.
neither give too much criticism to Democrats. To your understanding,
Yeah.
what's wrong or how come that we're that divided?
Well,
you know
let's
what
go,
I mean, right?
Yeah, let's go back to Bill Clinton was a Democrat. He was elected in 1988, and there were disagreements between Republicans and Democrats, but they worked successfully together, with Clinton working with Newt Gingrich, who was the Speaker of the House, and making progress on many, many issues. And nobody, socialism or worse was a dirty word. Nobody would use that word whatsoever. Then we had President Bush, and then we have 8 years of Barack Hussein Obama, and he's a leftist, okay, but at least he was smart enough to kind of hide how far left he would like America to be, okay. So he kind of moved the party at that time a bit to the left, and also I think I completely disapproved of his whole agenda and his intent for America. But, you know, I relax. I go, this too will pass. We'll see what happens. Now, you know, Hillary Clinton was expected 93% the day of the election to win. And Donald Trump came from who knows, heaven or whatever, to win the election. and it shocked the what we call the deep state, which includes a lot of Republicans that also were corrupted by being there too long and receiving too many financial supports for their votes and things like that. And so it shocked the deep state. It shocked Hillary. She couldn't even have a concession speech that night. So then moving forward, it threw them into this place of total unacceptance of the results of the deal. And then now with Bernie having been pretty close to Hillary Clinton in the last election, now he, and what he does is, what he's saying is, free everything, free college, get rid of student debt, free health care. But there's 160 or 180 million people that are happy with their health care provided by the corporations they work for, the companies they work for. And that would wipe out all of them. Our government no government can do anything efficiently. You just can't do it efficiently because the people aren't motivated to be efficient as you are when you're running a business and you hope to make profits.
Yeah. Just before you go that far, because we're going to touch the candidates a little later.
Yeah.
I am focusing on one question.
Yes.
Is it Donald Trump to be blamed more for having not extended the hand of cooperation, or is it the Democrats to be blamed more for having refused moments of cooperation?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, without giving anybody too much credit.
Right. Donald Trump is 100% willing to work with Democrats and Republicans for the benefit of American citizens. 100%. He has been rejected in so much he's done. However, we did get the USMCA, Canada-Mexico trade agreement done. We got the Chinese phase 1 trade agreement done, Japan. So President Trump, either through things that can easily be supported by even the haters, is accomplishing so very much, and also through executive orders, primarily reducing the excessive regulations.
In other words, you were
Trump
saying
does not reject.
Is the Democrats who are the ones to be blamed more for having refused or not accepting the extended hand for cooperation?
Their entire purpose of existence, the radical left, okay, I don't call them Democrats anymore.
They're
socialists.
Maybe I'm asking the wrong person.
No, their agenda is intended to destroy President Trump and diminish America's success. That's their agenda, Jack. It can't be denied. You see what they've done. You see how they swim in a sewer of calling everybody such. 63 people voted for President Trump. We're deplorable, despicable, we're racist, we're everything. It's ridiculous to demean half our country that voted for our president. It's ridiculous. You could accomplish nothing. So yes, President Trump is happy. He works for the people, okay? He works just as much to make Pelosi's life better, Adam Schiff's life better, that hate him so much. He's working for the people.
At least Pelosi and the Schiff are included, right?
They're American citizens.
That I have no doubt.
Yeah, they're American citizens.
Probably I should ask another person another day, because obviously I just want to be fair. I just really want to play judge this time about who is more to be blamed of showing us what we see.
It's the Democrats.
Conclusion is that with all the four that I conducted the interview with,
they were all concerned.
Showed the equal trepidation.
Well, I don't know what you say by equal. I don't think they're as afraid of Trump as they are of socialism, Jack.
No, I'm talking about the average Joe.
Yeah,
that I interviewed.
Me too.
They worry about the division.
See, here's where the problem is. Bernie Sanders' followers, okay, and he's actually more of a communist than a Russian communist. He went there for his honeymoon in that, than he is a socialist. But in socialism, Russian communism, Nazism, or fascism, they all have the same ending: government controlling everybody, and if you disagree, they take care of you.
The other day, I happened to be discussing with my friend Nibi.
Okay, yeah,
Chris Nibi.
Yeah,
right?
I love him.
And after lots of argument between socialism and capitalism, we came to a conclusion that, look around nowadays world though, no socialism can stand alone without capitalism,
It can't.
and neither can capitalism
Yeah.
stand alone without socialism.
Well,
That was our conclusion the
okay.
other day.
Well, one thing that I disagree about that is the capitalism, to be a capitalist country, functioning in capitalism, also can have social programs. But there's a difference between a social program and socialism.
That's right. That's
not
right.
related to
That's
each other.
why we concluded the other day that how about, or what if we call it a socialist capitalism?
I can't.
Or capitalist socialism.
There's no relationship. One is all government control over freedom. In a capitalism is freedom of our American. I am not going to give my freedom up.
Look at China. Look at China, right? They call themselves socialism. However, they are running it in a capitalist way.
Well, because that allows them.
Everything is capitalized.
Right, it allows them.
And they're successful. And they're the only one putting up that many of high-speed railways within their land,
well,
which we can't do ourselves.
well, yes, we can. We can do anything if we work for something
But
together.
we're missing
we can
the
do
socialist
everything.
part.
No, we're not missing socialist.
What if
anything.
we combine?
Nothing
We
socialism.
combine it, make it in an apple and pear.
Then America will be destroyed. It won't exist.
And what if you and I pick up another day and talk about the subject?
I'm here the rest of my life to
Or
serve
let's-
you and your viewers.
Or let's probably
I love you so much.
make a campaign. I'll launch a campaign to talk about the subject for the next few shows with my friends.
I love it. I would love that more
Very
than
good.
anything.
All right, my dear friends. Finally, we're over, but we're over time. I
Finally, we're
believe.
way over. Yeah.
We're over, but we're over time first. I enjoy arguing with this guy. I love him a lot. Yes, thank you very much for watching, my dear friend, and to my brother Cam, thank you very much.
I love you, my friend, and your
Sure,
viewers
sure.
even more.